Alright, we are ready for the 5th Epidonate video. This one is going to be on the auth mechanisms, how to associate a login generated bearer token with an Epidonate token, such that a donor could associate a standard login, could associate it with a token where he or she keeps the donated data. So let's follow the instructions. By the way, this is now, I hope, familiar to you. This is the remote deployment of Epidonate. You can have as many as you want. You have to make sure it's set up for that. So we've been using this one here. It's the one that is in the public domain, so you can investigate the values of the different admin and donor tokens and everything else. Okay, now that we are in, let's follow the instructions. So we'll be covering two methods. One sets this link between oauth bearer token, or the login mechanism, and Epidonate token, and to get it back. So the first thing we should have a look at is what sort of oauth2 services, or how does it look like to create an app that would use these services to generate bearer token that validates a given user ID. So let's start with this application here. So this is something I wrote for the convenience of this explanation. And so when you start the OAuth process, you often find out, let's move this here, you find out that you're already logged in. So this is a standard experience of most users, that they are always logged in, which is the case here. So I just open the OAuth credentials here, and we could copy the bearer token here. So in case you're wondering how hard is it to code such a system, it's actually just a few lines. It's less than a dozen lines. You see it here. These three methods are all that it takes for this application here to engage Google authentication and go through the oauth2 dance, as we call it. And to make the point that this really piggybacks on the issuer of your identity, let's do it for nih.gov email account. So I'm going to open an incognito window. Let's go through the process. So I'm in. This time I'm in incognito mode, meaning that there is no record of existing logins in this machine. Put my NIH account. And now I'm going to go through the regular login process. So NIH insists on a two-factor authentication with a PIF card. It's already plugged in my machine. So we go in, there it is. We write, and we are in. So if you go back to the application, you find out that the incognito window I'm logged in, and I can use this code here. So let's copy it. So we'll be using the NIH account here. So let's clean up a little bit, and let's go through the instructions. So set and get. To set OAuth, we'll need a token, so that's the user token, a bearer token, in this case the one I just got for my NIH account, and then an optional new token. There are many possibilities here. One is not to provide it, and it's generated, a new one is generated with the length of the existing one. You could also provide the same one to guarantee that it doesn't change. There are a number of use cases where one or the other may be preferable. The important one is the second input argument, which is the bearer token we just discussed here. So let's assign this to a variable. You've seen this in previous sessions. So I'm going to parse donor. So we are setting a connection. And this is a promise, so we write await. So let's go slowly. Here we're going to put the token, here the bearer token. This bearer token only is valid for a finite amount of time. It's 1 hour in this case. So I'll wait more than an hour before posting this video on YouTube, so no one can use this token to impersonate me. So that token would be invalid by then. Alright, and so now we're looking for a user token. Let's use this one. It's already available here as well. And I believe we are good. And an association was made. So now in the auth directory, there is a new file with my NIH public user ID, and in there I have an association to a new token. And this token is not one that you've seen before. The one we just used disappeared. So this illustrates how using an invite token leads to its replacement by a new one. If for some reason you need to keep the same token, you just repeat it. So this one was generated, this one was used, and the new one was generated. There it is. So what we'll do here is replace the input token, the old one, by the new one, which we captured in this variable. There it is. So now let's look carefully here. So we expect this value to change, and we expect this value to change as well, the JSON file, and of course we expect the list to change as well. So we could start here. See how it changed? A little bit too fast. So keep an eye on the first token here. It's the one we are using, or keep an eye on this one. There you go. Hopefully you saw it now. And if you go here, you see that the new token is here, and the old token is also kept, just in case something goes wrong during the writing process, there is some system failure, we still know what the address of the previous token it is. The important point is that from now on, a user can call the contents of the data donation without having to know the token anymore. So this token is managed and is kept at this file in oauth. So let's see this in action. So we are now moving to this portion of the tutorial. Get the information about tokens by just providing a bearer token. So now you do get. We no longer need this. This is the bearer token used to create the connection, so that's all we need to retrieve the tokens. And there we are. So you just got the same information you have here. 7Q, 7QDX, so the same one. Alright, let's continue. Oh, then we have the video of this presentation here. Alright, is anything missing? There is one thing that will be important for the developers. How can an admin find out what is a token associated with the OAuth ID? Notice the admin does not need and should never need to know the bearer token. The only thing the admin is doing is by providing an admin token instead of a bearer token, an OAuth ID, can the admin retrieve this information as well. And remember that the harvest, the admin harvest you get from doing get bearer token without the OAuth includes the list of registered connections between public IDs and tokens in the Epidonate system. Alright, let's give this a try. So we're going to pick an admin token. So now we're going to use the same, but instead of the bearer token, we are going to put an admin token. Let's go to the admins. We have a few here. And as the second input argument, we have an ID. Just copy it. And there you are. You got it back. Any errors in these credentials? So we are now using an admin token in the place of a bearer token, because the bearer token cannot and should not ever be shared. So if you put this, you know this is an invalid admin token. Now it's valid again. And if the ID is not valid, the system also denies it. All right, and I think we are done.